All right, we are live, I think, or we will be in the 6 second delay that it has, I
Ah,
think, something like that. But yeah, did you cue the intro, or am I supposed? You know what? Never
you.
mind. But yeah, did you cue the intro, or am I? Where's that coming from? You know what? Never mind.
I don't
Oh,
know.
I have but yeah, a
Thought you were
browser.
repeating yourself.
Yeah.
Like you just asked me that.
No, my wife is watching me on the TV. Can you
Oh,
lower the volume in the living room? She has it on in the living room, so
ah.
it's echoing, and I'm like, where is that coming from? I don't know. It's coming from somewhere. Oh, we got insightful imagery in the house. Check that out.
About time he showed up.
He's about this guy,
Yeah,
man. You know,
that's
he's
it,
an
man.
all right guy. We like him. We like him a lot. But yeah, so today we're doing something that I thought I had spoken to my co-host Mike, Insightful Imagery. If you're unfamiliar, you should be following this guy because he's been featured on Mezco numerous times. You've won a Mezco Monday before as well, right?
Um, no, never a Mezco Monday. Only the
You've been
fan.
featured like
Uh,
3 times on a Fan Friday.
I never get a Mezco Monday. I don't even try
Uh,
anymore.
but then
I
again,
think they're too blown away by my expertise. They can't look at my photos. Right.
but me,
Right.
me knowing you at this point, the prizes, I think you would just be like, eh, you know, I don't
Yeah.
really need any of that. Talk to me when you're giving away the Dick Tracy's. Then we'll.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're waiting
Yeah.
on that,
No
right?
doubt. I'm waiting on that, like everybody else. We'll see what they do. In the meantime, I've got other stuff I could photograph, but and I'm not even a Dick Tracy fan. I'll tell you why I bought it. I bought it because my favorite color is yellow, and it just looked really cool. I don't even know the story behind Dick Tracy. I just bought him.
He was. I think
Uh,
the story behind Dick Tracy is he is the first cop with an Apple Watch. That's
ah,
as far as I know. No.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I think he just goes by detective,
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I
it's
do like that whole old sort of, you know, I think he was back in the 40s to the 60s is when Dick Tracy was around, and I like that whole era of time. There was a lot of cool stuff to, you know, look at, and just a cool time in general. So I think a detective figure would be cool, nice to have and photograph. But like I say, I don't really know the whole story behind him. I just bought it impulsively, you know.
damn. That's pretty interesting. I don't really know how to segue through that, but other than like continue on with impulse buys, like
Yes.
yeah, I've been lucky lately. I haven't had an impulse buy, but you purchased the Ninja Turtles, right?
Yes, I did.
So you did purchase the Ninja Turtles. We got Tripping with Toys. What up, Kev?
What's up, tripping?
We got What's Up, My Brothers by Collector
Four two
425.
five. What's
If
going
you
on?
haven't yet, you should really go check out his toy room thing on the Grown Ass Men Toys podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I know where the money is now, Collector. So don't leave that window leave that window locked. Animal Mother Customs, my dude, what's going on?
Oh, what's up?
I
What's going
love
on?
uh, how he's got Animal from the Muppets.
Fraggle Rock. Oh yeah, the Muppets. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but Fraggle Rock too. He could be a cousin from Fraggle Rock,
Yeah.
110%. So we're starting to fill in and stuff like that. A buddy of mine, I don't know if you are, but I'm a wrestling fan.
Oh yeah.
And I got a buddy of mine. I'm not watching Friday Night SmackDown as usual tonight, but He's telling me one of the members of the Rocks family, another member of the Rocks family, has entered WWE and is now beating up another member of their family. So, yeah. Well, I
Well,
mean, good for them, I guess. Mr. Joe is in here. Thank you for lowering the TV in the living room. Um, and
hey, Will
Will
Flow.
Collector 425 is watching it. I know. If we try to get Marvelous in here, he's gonna be like, "Hell no, you ain't messing with my wrestling." He's he's always wrestling. Actually, my shirt is from WrestleMania this past weekend, Philly 316. So I
Oh,
got the
okay.
shirt at the venue. It was a lot of fun. Matt Chutoy is here. What's up, Matt?
What's up,
You
Matt?
know,
Good to
yeah,
see you.
Matt's another one with an eye like yours. They, like, I forget what Friday. It was a Friday. Well, the last Friday 15 was 4 hours. So Friday 15 is done for now.
It's a long time.
Yeah, if you want to check out a Friday 15 and fill up your whole week, you can go check out the one with Jay Shot and Matt Chutoy. By the way, before we get into this, Matt and Jay Shot have returned. Matt was just at Canada for the Toying Around convention. That's Kevin of the Toying Around and the Enablers. So Matt was there for the first inaugural convention, and
Nice.
yeah. So look for the footage because Matt is a videographer. So
Cool.
one of his many talents besides like making me burst out laughing and choking laughing. So so we are here tonight to get a tutorial in a sense or some better understanding of Photoshop and maybe some Lightroom by Mike of Insightful Imagery. He does all the just amazing stuff. So we're gonna actually do one of my photos, and who knows, maybe it'll be featured on a certain company's page with the help of Insightful Imagery. So I don't know if I was to win anything, I don't know how we would split it, but we'll figure that one out, right? Hydro,
Hey, what's up, Skyler? We was just talking about you.
we're just talking.
It was
about
all
you.
bad. It was all bad.
All bad. See, follow the light beam, Skydro. Yeah.
There you go.
God rays. Look, I'm Skydro. All right. So let's jump into my raw photo from your library.
Okay. So let me go open Photoshop, and I've already got it opened, and hopefully everything runs smooth as far as having all these programs open. So I'm gonna go to just keyboard shortcut Control O, and I'm going to open. There's two files here. I'm gonna open the one that I think is going to be best for what you want it to, for Mezco Monday. And it's going to be the one that has the message the most pronounced and sharpest. So it's going to be this one here. So I'm not going to make any adjustments in Camera Raw. I'm just going to go ahead and open this. Let me see what you shot it at as far as the lens and stuff goes. Yeah, so I'm just going to open this in Camera Raw. I'm not going to make any adjustments yet, so you guys can see the whole image on the screen, and can you see my screen? Oh, you can't even see it, huh? No, I haven't clicked share, have I? Let me click share. Oh shit. let me click share. Dope. Share screen. Okay, so here we go. We're going to share entire screen, and there we go. All right, share. So let's go back over here to Photoshop now, and let me know if you can see that because I can't tell.
All right, we're added to the stage.
Right on. So once you bring I know your goal with this photo, and so the approach in Photoshop, I mean, if you're trying to fix a photo or to get more out of a photo,
Hey, Mike,
like this one here. Yeah.
um, move your physical camera a little bit to the left. You're off screen.
This one here. Oh,
I guess it would be your right. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
this
Yeah,
one here.
you
All
weren't
right. Oh, you can
you
still
weren't
see me. Okay.
you were getting like half your headphone and the rest of you the rest of your
Oh,
back.
cool. Right on. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you see me now? Okay.
I can hear you.
So yeah, right on. So I'm gonna fix this with your goal in mind. Your goal is you want it to be on Mezco Monday. You want to win Mezco Monday.
I hope you, but
Preferably. I never win, so hopefully you do. But this is the best of the two photos, I think, to showcase, to do some edits on. I'll show you the other one too if you want to see it. Just
sure.
so you can see why I picked this one. So let me do Control O again, and I'll go ahead and open the other one, and I'll put them side by side. I'm not going to make any edits yet. I'm just going to open it, and I'm going to go over here to arrange, and we're going to do tile 2 up vertical. So and let me know if at any point you can't see any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So here's 2 photos.
Like
okay.
That.
Here's 2 photos, and since this is for Mezco Monday, it would make most sense for me that the one with the Mezits sharpest are the ones that we're going to use. You can see way back here in the back, Vex is the sharper of all the figures here, and on this one he's not, and the Mezits actually are. So this is going to work better for what we're trying to do with the photo. So that being said, let's go to go ahead and consolidate all these back to tabs, and I'll go over. So I kind of do like, I guess maybe we do on Moz a little bit, and I'll just go over this photo real quick and tell you why I'm going to do what I'm going to do to it. And if you have any questions, I guess let me know, but I'll just kind of go over the shot in general. So in general, I think it's a bit red. I'm going to cut some of the red down, and I'm going to do a couple things here. We've got sharpness here on this Mezit here, the vulture head pretty much, and the skull, and then we start to get a little bit of separation as the depth of field falls off. And so in that regard, it's a good shot for what we want to do. I think there's a lot of extra information down here at the bottom that really doesn't help tell the story. All this down here, the floor and the feet.
Man,
normally I like feet.
Sale. If I don't tell that story.
All right. Normally I'm a guy that likes feet, but in this case, I think that there's just more information down here than we need. And since Mezits are small, we want them to really grab your attention in this shot, and we want them to really come across as the focus of this shot. So one thing so one thing that I want to do right away is I'm going to go over here to change the crop first of all, and we can go over here to crop, and I can, if you can see everything here, I've got 16:9 up here. So let's make a 16:9 box on here, and this is going to be 16:9. So we'll adjust this out to where I think this is going to look best as a 16:9. Now we're in a bit of a not really a jam here, but we don't need his whole hand, but we can, let me do Shift plus here. And so Shift plus is the keyboard shortcut for zooming in when you can't access the Z keyboard shortcut for zoom. So I think if we adjust this box, we certainly want Vex's whole head in the back there. The vulture head guy's hand is not that important to the story. All the Mezits are. So I think if you know what? Let me make a duplicate of this layer real quick. There we go. So I think if we crop it right about here, this does a couple things. It brings everybody sort of front and center. and it cuts away the extra information that's really not necessary at the bottom of the frame or the top of the frame for that matter. The windows look nice, but the mezzets are the story. So I think this crop really pretty much brings these guys front and center and gives us the most important features of the audience here, the other people that are partaking of this diabolical meeting. So, you know, and it just brings them all right in your face. Yeah,
the next world leaders. I was.
It's the G8.
I was just gonna say these are all the guys from Grown Ass Mentors.
Yes, the G8. There you go. It's the summit. So I think really this crop works good for our end goal. And so what I probably do after the crop is I just want to scan through my image. Maybe Z, there we go. I want to sort of scan through the image and just look for anything on here that needs to be cleaned up right away before I start changing the exposure next. Because when you bring exposure up, you're also going to bring up things you might not want to bring up. So it's best to go ahead and clean some of that stuff up now. I mean, we got a couple little spots in here. We're at 100% magnification. So, I mean, these spots really aren't really that big a deal. I can zoom in here and I can just sort of click some of these little spots away. You know, here's another little spot. You're not going to see any of these. They're so tiny, but I can just look for some really significant eye drawing fragments or things that I think would take away from your attention. You know, like sometimes you get like dog hair, cat hair on your figure, or you know, there's a piece of lint on him sticking out somewhere. We just want to try to kind of pan around and look and see if there's nothing like that grabs our attention.
Well, we all know it's not going to be my hair. So,
right. So I think we're kind of good on. I don't see any real issues with any of the. With anything on there that needs to be cleaned up. So now there's a couple ways you can do this. It's, you know, you can create smart layers and groups and all that. I'm not going to do that tonight. This is just a pretty straightforward, but I am going to work on duplicate layers. I'm not going to work on an original layer. So in case I need to go back and do anything. So now that we've got the crop done, we've looked and see if there's any, you know, minor cleanup that needs to happen. We're pretty good on that. I'm just going to hit Control J and get a duplicate layer. And then I'm going to go over here to, Camera Raw. And now I want to say this too, in Photoshop, there's like so many ways to get to the same end result. And there's no one way or right way. There may be better, more efficient ways, but you know, there's a lot of ways to get to the same end result. So we're going to go to Camera Raw. And I started with the crop first, because visually for me, you know, I need to fix what bothers me the most first. And I work in kind of that process. And so that's what we're doing here. So what I want to do is I want to bring up the exposure overall on this, because it's a bit dark, and I know it's supposed to be dark, but we still want to be able to make out some of the details that are in this shot. So overall, I think I would like to brighten up the overall shot, probably by maybe a half stop. And what I want to look for in here to see how far I want to go is when if you raise this up too far, you're going to start seeing weird, you know, patterns and all the different, perhaps digital noise from taking an underexposed shot. So we don't want to go too far and start to bring attention to muddy shadows and maybe banding or different fragments that might come from, you know, revealing digital noise. So I'm thinking, I mean, this is extreme. So I'm thinking probably right in here looks good to me overall. And this is kind of an artistic thing. I mean, it just, you know, I think right in there looks pretty good to me. And I think I would like to also take down some of the red. I know it's supposed to be a red scene, but I would have shot this for me with a little bit more white light in there. But since we're right here at this part here, you know, trying to just get everything kind of dialed in. I think we'll go down here to the HSL panel, and there's a couple things you can do. You can kind of take your reds and you can just, I'll do it to the extreme so you can see. You can take all the reds out, or you can jack the reds totally up. You can double click on this to take it back to the center. I think I personally would like to take the red down just a little bit. And you can be real specific with the red if you want to. You can say, okay, you know, this red right here, and then we'll click and hold it and slide it. And see where it gives us a value where like -9, or you can go back up to, you know, plus to the plus side. So I'm thinking something, you know, probably right in here looks good to me. And I'm working on a monitor that is calibrated too, so that really helps as far as colors and how the RGB is represented on the screen of the image to me. So that's a pretty helpful tool to have. If I mean, you don't have to have it, but it gives me a consistent look between photos. So we'll go ahead and take the reds down just a little bit. And then in this palette here, you've got a whole bunch of different, I mean, you can change, you know, you can transform, you can rotate, you can, you know, you can add your famous Dutch angle post if you want. You know, you can scroll through here and what's that?
What's up, 1-6 shooter?
All right. Is he in there? No, he's not.
No. But you said
Right.
Dutch angle, so you know he's definitely
right.
like someone summoning me. I've been
So
summoned.
you've been summoned. There you go. So let's with this right here. And I think I would like to, at this point, I mean, you can add some texture and a little bit of sharpening, but sharpening you tend to really want to do at the end of your edit. So you don't sharpen stuff that you know, like digital noise and stuff like that. So let's just click OK real quick and see what we've got. So I can toggle off and on here, and here's the before. Okay. And here's the after. You can see we've got a little bit more brightness and a little less red.
Illuminated. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I can go here. I can go to range, and I can go to tile up vertically, so you can kind of see both of them. Oh, wait, why is it giving me? Oh, I want the before and after. It's giving me these other two. Hang on one second. Window, workspace, range, consolidate all to tabs. There we go. Oh, because it's giving me this one here. I don't want this one. Close yourself. You have been closed. So let's do window, arrange, and 2 up vertical. Oh, before and after. I have to go change it to before and after. But anyway, we'll just do it like this. So you can kind of see a difference here. And it's pretty obvious down here in the, let me hit this and get in up over here. We'll just take a look down here in the shadows. So you can see a little bit brightness in the shadows, and it's not too extreme that it begins to bring in any of the, like in here, you would have some digital noise in your real shadows. You're going to find where, you know, if you brighten this too much, you're going to start making it look, introducing a bunch of different artifacts. So you kind of want to look around in your shadows. Like, see here, this is really low light underexposed. And so that's why it looks like that, but we'll fix that later. No big deal. So here we go. We've got a good crop. We're at a reasonably decent exposure. And from this point here, you know, what I personally would do, because I work fairly destructively, I would push Control E, merge them, and then just make a duplicate layer. But you know, I think from here, I'll just make a duplicate of this. So the next thing I want to do is I want to tackle a little bit of, we can go to, and I hope it works on here, because we're doing a live stream. I want to do a little noise reduction real quick. So I'm going to go over here to a filter and a program that I use called Topaz Labs, and it might act weird while it opens, but hopefully it doesn't. So, because the next thing we need to address is the noise, and I really don't like doing it in the software because I don't really like the Adobe noise reduction software. But let's take a look over here. It's updating. and I'll show you what it's going to do. The original is on the left over here. Hopefully you can still see this. And the one that's been had the noise denoised is on the right. Can you see the difference over here on the left in these shadows right here? See this?
110%.
Yeah. So you've got all this in here, and it's sort of toned it down a little bit and managed.
I would say it made it more flat.
Yeah. It smooths it out a bit. Let me get over here to the Mesit so you can see it on the Mesit. Let it run itself again, and then you'll see some on here too. And with an underexposed photo, there's a lot of digital noise when you start to bring the exposure up. And so you kind of want to be careful and find a balance in it, and then run a little denoise on there. Denoise will soften stuff up, so later you'll go back in and selectively sharpen eyes and things like that you want to draw attention to.
Yeah. I just
see that
completed. It was almost like it was almost like it made it thinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. See that?
Yeah.
Mesit, he looks a bit smoother. He looks a bit less. And you can go crazy with this and do it till it looks like a painting, but that's not what we're after here. You just want to tone down some of this digital noise.
And that you're using right now?
Well, it's a plugin for well, it's not a plugin. It's just called what is it called? Topaz Denoise AI, and it's a program that I use when I did wildlife photography for softening stuff up. Now we've got a little bit extreme in here. You can see that I've lost some of the detail in the cloak and stuff. I can go back through later and selectively brush that back in if I want, or I can adjust down here to the left and take it from 25 down a little bit. I'm going to keep it where it is, and I'll just brush that back in a layer mask. So I'm just going to click apply, and then but it's Topaz Denoise AI, and it's a since a lot of wildlife photography is not done with studio lights and in the brightest of conditions, because birds like to hide in trees, you get a lot of low light, high ISO photos, and so you have to do something about the noise, and Topaz AI is one of the programs that is really fantastic. So this gives you a countdown, and it's like 51 seconds until it completes, so we'll wait for that. Yeah, but you can see right here, it's really it's smoothed everything out is what it does. And in the end, we want this sharp, and we'll go back through and we'll sharpen it, but it's better to sharpen it from a denoise standpoint than to sharpen it with the noise and then try to denoise it, because you're just being counterproductive. So we'll get the sharpening back here in just a little bit. 17 seconds. Got to sound interesting for 17 seconds.
Yeah. Well, okay. So
I'll try. I'll adjust my glasses and look scholarly.
Shout out to everyone in the chat. Deadman joined in as well.
Oh, what's up, Deadman?
We had a question from Collector 425. Is there a way you can make the gray and red Mesit focus a little better? So he's wondering if you can change the focus on an existing item. So it would be the one in the back left.
Oh, yeah. So here's the thing. In order to do that, you can never make a blurry photo sharp. There's no way. You can adjust the contrast a little, and you can get a little bit of sharpening in there, but you're not ever going to. The only way you could have done that in this photo was to take two shots with your focus on him, and then a shot with your focus on the front, and then blend the two together. But in this single shot, there's no way to make him really any sharper than he is right there. I mean, you could
this thing.
Yeah. I mean, you could go in and do like a high pass sharpen and mask it back and stuff, but it's going to begin to look a little bit unnatural because it's supposed to be blurry back there. And if he was any sharper, you'd be like, well, why is that guy And
Yeah,
really at this point, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So your eye would also, if everything in the photo is too sharp, your eye's gonna move everywhere. Like the purpose of this photo, in a sense, is to draw the eye to the mesit, which is why camera left on the brown mesit is so clear. So you go and look at a mesit immediately because it's the clearest thing in the shot, and then you look at the other mesits, and then your eye goes elsewhere. So if you had everything as clear as you see the brown mesit, your eye really wouldn't have a focus on anything.
Let me clean a
Mike,
couple of these
would
little
you agree with that, or am I totally off?
no, that sounds fine. Another thing that's going to happen if you start to try to sharpen this guy is you're going to get some weird outlining going on and some different sort of artifacting going on. I mean, it's really there's sharpening software out there, but really all it's going to do is find contrast between the pixels and kind of I'm not sure what the exact technical word is, but it increases contrast with the pixels, and it just begins to look really weird after a while. The best solution for that is just to either focus stack it if that's what you want. You kind of got to set out in your mind in the beginning of the shot to do that, and then plan accordingly. But to do it after is really not going to probably have the effect that you want. And so, hopefully that helped. So let's toggle back over here through my stuff. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to zoom in and let you guys see real quick. At 100% opacity, this is the noise reduction layer that we just did. You can see, let's see, we're at 140%. That's fine. I'll toggle this off and on and just kind of look at the skull's teeth and then look at his hood. This is stuff that I would look for in a shot. And so you can really see the effect of the noise reduction in the hood, in all the area over here, and even on his face, but in the shadows especially too. So you might, I would be, for me, I would say, okay, well, it smoothed out a lot of the texture in this, probably more so than I would like, but you can go back in if you wanted. And I'll show you a lot of times on Moz, like we talk about layer masking and stuff like that. So a layer mask is, if I push Alt here and I click on this little mask icon down here, it's going to totally take away the denoise layer that we just did. See, it turns black up here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can brush back in the effect of the denoise layer if I want. I'm trying to do this through a microphone, so let me see. Let me move the microphone.
I see what you're doing.
But let me get back up here to Shift 100 or Shift 00 for the opacity. So I can go back in here, and if I wanted to selectively brush in the denoise, just kind of watch my cursor here. Oh, hang on. I got to change it to the, see down here, this has to be black and white. So white reveals, black conceals. That's the shortcut in your mind to remember. So we're going to reveal the noise reduction layer back onto this noisy layer, and we'll do that by brushing. And you can kind of see how it brushes it back on here. And let me just push Control Z here real quick, and we'll push Control I and put it back. Let's do it this way and push X here, and then we'll do it this way. So you can see how I've brushed it back off. So we're denoised around here, and then I sort of erased the effect so you can see. And this is what a layer mask is. It's selectively brushing back in the effect that you want or you don't want. And we can just push Control Z, or we can push X and brush it all back in right here. But that's pretty much a layer mask. And if you ever want to see what you've masked and what you haven't masked, you can go over here and push Alt, click on your layer mask, and you can see these little gray bits here. that's areas that I haven't brushed back. So let's get them back where they need to be. And
Oh, white reveals all.
yeah, so so you're kind of good with that. Now, if you didn't want to do all this layer mask and all this other stuff, and you like the effect of the AI noise reduction, but you thought it was a little bit intense, you can just go over here also, and you can lower the opacity of this layer. Maybe there we go, and you can
You
change the
made me.
opacity. Yeah, sometimes this thing just trips out when it's on a live or something. But so you can change your opacity and you can put it back at 100%, or you can allow more of the layer below this one to shine through and get some of the texture back. And you can find sort of a happy medium if you want, if this texture in the hood was really important to you. Uh, but it's kind of up to you, and finding the balance. Because here we're correcting a photo. We're not, uh, we didn't shoot it entirely, 100% right. So we're just going back through and trying to fix and bring back, what we think we'd like to have
Or
in the
what could have
photo.
been
And so,
lost, right?
yeah, yeah.
From
And so,
from the noise.
yeah. And I think right here, why is my pen sticky? There we go. I think right here is probably we're at 87%. That gives me a balance of some texture in there and also some noise reduction. So I'm just going to merge all these. And some people might cry, "Oh, you can't go back now," but I personally don't care. I can work destructively or non-destructively, and it's just, in this case, like I say, it's easier that I just merge the stuff and make a duplicate layer. No big deal. But let's go down here because I sort of underestimated these little dots right here. They are bugging me. So there's a couple ways you can fix this, and it's so simple. If you guys, all you got to do is go over here. A couple things you can do. A keyboard shortcut for S, and that brings up what's called the stamp tool. And your left and right bracket make the brush bigger or smaller. The stamp tool requires an origin. It's going to, it needs to know where you want, where you're going to pull your information from and put it to. So I'm going to put Alt right here, and then I'll just click on this and give it a little dot. You can do it that way, or you can go over here to the spot healing brush, and it's nice because it'll tell you the keyboard shortcut, which is J. But for this, you don't need an origin point. You can just brush on here, and this is nice because it doesn't create like the clone tool. You will get, especially if you're like in a patterned, you have some sort of pattern in the material, it will clone that, and it might not match up in the direction that it needs to. It'll just clone it. So that's where the spot healing brush comes handy. It makes a little bit better match. And so let's zoom back out here.
Also with the cloning tool, one thing I want to touch up on, because some people will think that the cloning tool is just easier, but the more you move around your subject in a cloning tool, or just cloning that area in particular, you kind of almost make an involuntary gradient, where you'll start to see lines form because your brush isn't big. If you're gonna clone, you gotta clone. If you're gonna use the clone tool, when you find your area of origin, make sure if you're doing something like this, zoom in like Mike is doing, and then you use that brush wide. Zoom in.
So here's another thing we talk about too, these chromatic aberrations. This here, you can see this, and we're at 319%. So we're pretty dang zoomed in. You're not really going to see this on, but I see it.
And call customer service and tell them there's a issue with it.
So right here, I'm not exactly sure what this is from. I don't think it's purple, and you've got some stuff in there. You can go over here to this, and this will probably work right here. Watch as I bring this up, that line will go from purple. Now it's back to black. you want to be careful with this too. This is the chromatic aberrations, and what it does is it finds outlining colors where they like don't belong. The problem with doing it though is if you do it too much, it will start to take away. Say here it's purple, it will start to take away purple from inside your image too. So you really only want to do this, maybe one or two, and it depends on the image. But if you look down here on the image, at 1 it's still visible, so we'll go up to 2, and that looks good. And it has this weird thing here too. This little might be just a reflection, but
yeah,
we'll let it.
He's kind of got a metallic face of gold.
We'll let it ride. We fixed the purple, so we're good.
Well,
so
again, I just want to say, like, with what Mike is doing, this is all color correction, not so much as a lot of people get into Photoshop because they can add this, that, the other things, fire and certain effects and stuff like that. What we're doing right now is all correction based.
Yeah, I'm not I'm doing what's called, well, pretty much these are local edits. The only global edit I really did was, and global means it affects the entire image, was denoise and exposure. Those are the only two global edits that I did. The rest of this is real localized.
Now let me ask you something, right? Would you tell somebody you should start with denoising first or last, or just really kind of make that assessment based on the photo?
I would, if I open the image, I think you probably go off of each photo, but if it depends probably too if you're going to be doing if you're going to be making an exposure adjustment, because if you're going to do an exposure adjustment first, then you want to go ahead and probably do your exposure adjustment first. It really depends on the image, but because if you do your denoise first and then you raise your exposure, you're going to introduce more stuff that might not, you might not want to see, more fragments and hot pixels and banding or whatever. So I would probably say, do your exposure first and then your denoise after that. But it's going to kind of depend on the photo too, in some regards, but hopefully that helped.
It did. Yeah.
All right. So a couple other things that I would say here. This, did you add this here in post? Go figure. Or
No.
was that a light that was shining on there?
He's got a high gloss on his eyes.
Okay, gotcha. I would say also, so here, these are pretty bright hot spots on this figure. And this is something that, if you were on Moz, they would be like, hey, we'd tone that down. We put a diffuser in there. We'd, soften that up. I'm going to show you a trick really quickly that you can do. You can go here to channels.
One sec. I told you you would say a couple of words and he would be summoned.
Who's that?
It was a 1-6 shooter. What's up, Trev? We were just saying, once you start using these words, you will summon him.
Hey, it's all good, man. So is he in the stream or is he just in the chat? I can't see.
You know what? I'm going to, I don't know what he's doing right now, but I'm going to send him an invite since you asked.
Good to see you, Trevor. So what I would do here is if you go over from your layers and you click on your channels and you hit Alt and you click on the RGB channel, it's going to make a selection. It's supposed to make a selection. Oh, it's because it's not art, it's control. You push control, and you can see it's got some stuff selected down here. We don't really want to select those areas. We want to push Control I because I want to get to these parts here that we were talking about. See, these highlights are now selected on this meset that we wanted to fix the hot spots on those a little bit and tone them down. So once we got that selected, we can go over here and we can push Control J and get a duplicate layer. Change the blend mode of this. wait, what did I do? What did I do here? Let's see. Wait, let me go back. I bumped something. We don't want that. Let me take this off here. Let me do it one more time. Hey, wait a second. What's going on? Why are you bugging?
Trevor, you made him nervous. Damn it.
No, what happened here? What happened here? That was weird. That was really odd.
You went from
let me do it one more time.
destructive to non-destructive.
There we go. Let's click on that, and we're gonna do Control J, and then that was really weird. I'm not sure why I did that. Let's did Trevor accept, or what did he do?
He hasn't seen my message on Instagram yet. You never know what
he's on Instagram
Friday night. So
he's on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, he's well, I mean, I don't have his phone number or anything like that, so that's the only way I can send him the message.
Yeah. So we can tone that down just a little bit. I mean, we're at let me raise the opacity on this, and I'll probably do a layer mask here. That tones it down a little bit. Let me just pan through the image and kind of see what see how it's affected the brightest parts of the image, what I did. So you can look at the highlights in the skull, and you can see what I did. That's with it, off, and this is with it on. It sort of tones down a bit the hot spots. Not as much as we would like in this one. I can still go through and further, get it more. But watch this little glare right here. I've toned it down a little bit, but we're gonna have to go in with some local tools and get it fixed up, because it's pretty glaring. But overall, you can see the effect of what this does, and I don't think we're probably.
Trevor says you know your stuff. You don't need me.
Yeah, right.
Fly, little birdie, fly out of the nest.
Fly, right. So I think what I would do to fix this, there's a couple ways you can fix this, but this is the next thing we're going to fix. I'm just going to do this, and some people will get mad probably because I just flattened them all and did it this way, but it's okay. So we'll start with another layer, and I'll take and hit the wrong button. We'll go over here to let's make a new layer, and I'm not quite sure why my my bar. Oh, you know why? Because StreamYard is sharing, so it's taking up part of my taskbar. That's why. It pushes down a little bit, but whatever. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So what I would do
before
yeah.
You do,
What's that?
Deadman asked, couldn't you tone that down a little with the Band-Aid brush tool as well?
Well, that's a good question, but let me show you what the Band-Aid brush tool is going to do right here. There's a couple, there's three go-tos that you can try to fix this. You can do the spot healing, you can do the clone, you can do the patch. There's a few different ways that you can do it.
I would have done the clone because that's the
if you want, let's do the Band-Aid tool, and I can show you through my microphone here. It's weird. Let's go over here, and we want to make sure that aligned all layers. It's not important because it's really the same layer below it. We'll just do this. We'll take all layers off. We'll just do this layer, current layer, or we can do current layer. Yeah, just do current layer because that's going to work here, and align. So let's just brush this down, push Alt, and then see we're not getting the effect that we want there.
Yeah. So and that's why the clone tool wouldn't work as well, because essentially what I think you would have to do if you did the clone tool is basically paint over every single spot.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you could. It's really. I mean, you could paint over all these spots, but that would be kind of time consuming. So this here, since there's no information at all in this, it's totally clipped. There's nothing here. We're going to have to kind of like make information. So there's a couple ways we can do this, and I'll go through some of the tools just to kind of share with you. Sometimes it takes a combination of, you know, a couple tools to do it, but let's go through the patch tool and see what the patch tool offers for us. And we'll just circle this, and whoops, it's empty because I'm on an empty layer. That's why. We'll bring this over here. And so that's kind of what the patch tool does. It might give us a good start that we can refine. We can go back in here and kind of, you know, brush this down at a lower opacity with a bigger brush maybe. But this isn't going to give us really the effect that we're after either. So let me just, hey, sometimes my tablet gets sticky for some reason, but the thing of another good, and the thing is here, we want to match this with this, not this. So we can, let's do this. Let's go to S and let's take our brush down. Our flow up here is 20%. I mean, let's start at shift 5 and do 50% and just see what this is going to give us. You know, what are we doing here? Give me 1 second. Let me turn this off. My pen, I don't know why it's getting sticky. Hang on 1 second. Let me do something. Sometimes I think if there's too much stuff going on with the live stream, it might affect it. So let's do this. Okay. Select this and okay, kind of, but still not quite. Let's create a new layer and do it on that layer, and then we can adjust that layer. So same thing. We'll just go back over here and let me check my brush here. Hardness, spacing, size. We want it as soft as we can get it. So we're going to drag over this, and we're on a totally separate layer, so we can. Whoa. Let's see, we're at 500% all of a sudden.
You got the triangles in there.
Sometimes this thing trip. I mean, because there's, you know, it's, I don't know, probably because it's on the live stream. But this is kind of getting where we want to be. I mean, you can take. Let's do this. Oh wait, not that. Let's do this. Let's make a snapshot of the layer real quick, and then let's go back over here to the stamp tool. Or the clone stamp tool. Hey, now this thing wants to really goof with me for some reason. S for clone stamp. We'll go up here to our flow, and we'll go down just like 20%. And you can start to brush some of this back in and get in here with a smaller brush. Let's do 40% and sort of brush some of this back in. And that's why it's best to address all this in camera.
Yeah.
because you're going to spend your time doing all these little things here that may not.
Well, I mean, if I made it too easy, no one would learn anything from you.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. So
yeah, you know,
go back in and clean this up a little bit.
On purpose. What are you kidding?
That's what it was. Yeah, no doubt. So no doubt. I mean, you're not. That's about as far as I can go with it before it really starts to pixel.
So right now it's
I want to fix this.
More of a dull down process from the original exposure.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll take that and then we'll bring this back just a little bit. Why is my computer? Why is this thing acting really weird? It's really weird all of a sudden. Okay, I don't know. Sometimes. So let's do.
Excuse me.
you can kind of tone it down. Let's see the hard part about this is there's no information in any of this white area. There's no information at all. So another way you could do this, if you wanted, you could just go like this. You could go over here, create a new layer, and you could take your B for brush tool and you could select this, push Alt and get your brush color. See down here, it changes to the color wherever I'm at. So you can go like that. And then on this layer here, you can kind of, let's do our opacity to say like 30% and just see kind of what we're gonna get here. And you can kind of try to match some of this. I mean, it's going to be really tough. I'm not, or you could take, another way you could do, you could probably just take this whole area off and replace it with something a little bit darker. But it gets really tough because there's no information at all to bring back here. And you want it to kind of match what's going on up here. So let's do this. Let's put this on top and let's merge that down and then bring the opacity back up. Okay, and then we'll take and S tool, and then we'll kind of come back in here and we're at 10%, flow 10%. Let me go to 50%, sorry. And then kind of go in here and bring some of this grain back a little bit. Maybe clean this up just a little bit on the edges. The thing is, with no information, it makes it really tough. That's why you got to shoot it the right way because you'll be trying to chase yourself around trying to fix this stuff. So let's go in here to the, you can do R for, well, R used to be the blur keyboard shortcut. Let's see what it is now, because I never used the R. I never used the blur tool. Oh, you know what we can do? We can just
cleaner.
Well, yeah, not really yet, but I mean, we're at 300% or 260%, but we can go like this. Let me turn this off and turn it back on, and then let's see if we can just, yeah, you really want to take the whole thing away because there's just no information there to blend it with. I mean, let's see, let's do this. Let's make another snapshot here. Oh, wait, whoops. Control. Let's make another snapshot.
Yeah. He says,
I have to reach around my microphone. What's that?
The dead man is just saying, yeah, shoot the right way, he says.
Well, and the thing is there's no information here to bring back in there. You can paint back over it. You can do a couple things to it, but it's never going to be, let me go ahead and just give this a quick, that's not what I wanted. Let's do
we could
5.
also use content awareness and just circle the whole photo and type, make this look good. And then that's
you can do that. The whole photo. Yeah, the whole photo. You can also, I mean, you can also go down here and let's create a new layer. Let me name this so I don't get them mixed up. Clipping. And then you can go in here and you can do the patch tool and you can change this to, or no, wait, which one is it? Because I seldom use this tool. Also, you can do source destination. Are we on the, whoops, come on. Let's select this and use pattern. I don't want pattern. I want source destination. I don't use this one too much. There's a content aware, and then you can take, let me zoom in on this. Maybe it'll let me zoom in. It's tripping. Let me do this. Sometimes if you do too much, let's see what this does. And see, this is a good start. And then we can go back in here and we can kind of
clone it.
Change. Yeah. And then that's why I say sometimes it takes a combination of tools to get it done, you know. And forgive me because my computer is a little bit tripping with this all this filters and stuff going on. We can go back here and change the opacity. We're at 50%. You can, let me just select this whole spot right here, if it will select it for me, and clean that up right there. We can clean it up a little bit more. We can go back through. Let's try going in now with the healing brush, and let's put it on all layers, sample all layers. Okay, and see what if it helps us out right here. No, that didn't help us. Let's just do it in one line. That didn't help us either. Not too much. Let's do the patch tool again here, and let's just, so I mean, this isn't too bad. You can blend that in a little excuse me, a little bit. That's ugly. So it's just going to be a combination of blending the edge of this here at maybe 20%. So let's just soften this whole transition up right here a little bit, and maybe same right in here, and just soften this up a little bit. It's better to just do this off from the beginning. I'm not a photo retoucher, but let's see here. And let's take that and filter. Let's do a slight Gaussian blur on it, like 1%, just to kind of blend it. We'll say okay. Then what I'll do is we'll go up here. Whoops. All right. We'll take this and let me get these layers out of here. Okay. All right. Then from there, we can take, and if I lower that just a little bit, it's still, see, there's nothing there. Usually what you can do is there'll be some information that you can blend it with, but there's nothing but a glaring white hole here. So we'll just keep it like this, and then we'll go like this. We'll come from up here, and I just want to smooth this out just a little bit. Something like this in here. There we go. Just kind of make it not look so splotchy. That looks a little better. Let me actually put it at 100% so you can see how it look at 100%. That's the original. That's kind of, it's not the best, but it takes a combination of tools, and it's honestly better. You can actually add some grain to there because there's a little bit of grain in there, but shoot it the right way. You don't have the problem. It's going to take a combination of tools to fix that, and I'm probably not the best guy to do that entirely the whole way. But let's go back in here, excuse me, and do some. So I like the highlights and some of the dodging and burning. Let's do. I'll show you another thing that I do sometimes in my photos, and I think it might help out here a little bit too. Let me just pan around here real quick. We'll go through and we'll do we'll create a new layer. We'll create a new layers. A couple ways you can do this. You could create a new layer and change the blend mode to screen. And then you can go over here and do blend if. Blend if is, I'll show you what these sliders do. So all I'm looking for here is some highlights in some of the wrinkles and a couple little, excuse me, things. So if I move the blend if slider, watch his face right here. If I move the blend if slider, see only the highlights are left.
Okay.
Then I can feather that out a little bit and really dial it in, because I kind of like the highlights on his face right there. And so I'll just click OK. And then I'll turn, but it affected the whole layer, so we don't really want that. But just watch the highlights on this guy's face right here. So we'll zoom in. I'll do brush too. Excuse me. Damn, I don't know what's the matter with my throat. We'll do 10%. And I can brush this back, and it's only going to brush back on those highlights. See how it's highlighting just the highlights here. And I don't know why, but something about it, I like these little highlights right here. I know we erased them on the other guy, but right here, I kind of like these a little bit. And then we can take, I'll show you, you can turn it off and turn it back on. You see the subtle difference there? See, there's with it and there's without it. See? It sort of strengthens the highlights right there.
Oh, yeah.
Can you guys see that?
Okay.
See, just on the vulture head?
On the vulture head. Yep.
Yeah. So you can add some highlights. You can blend this out, or you can just go over here to image and you can do it for apply image, and it'll give you a little bit of a smoother look to it.
Gotcha.
I like that. Let's see. Excuse me. I don't know what's the matter. I feel like I swallowed a cat hair and I don't have a cat.
Yeah, I've been dry lately. I think it's my allergies, man.
Let's go through. Excuse me. Let's add a little bit of sharpening to some of these guys. I think overall the mezzets look pretty good here. I don't really see much. If you wanted, you could. I mean, this is naturally in the mezzet. This little indentation, that's naturally in the mezzet, so it's not a big deal. We can go through here, and I will do what's called a high pass filter on this one. So we have two layers that are exactly the same. I'm going to go over here to what's called filter, and this is a great way to sharpen certain spots of the photo or the whole photo, but you could do certain parts of the photo with different sharpening techniques by using layer masks. But I'll show you what I'm talking about. We'll go over here to high pass, and you have to change this value until something comes up. And since there's not much sharp in the image right now because we did an AI noise reduction on here, we probably want to, let's see, bring this up a little bit so I can see this, guys. Yeah, let's go down here to 3 and let's click OK. And I'm going to show you, it looks like crap right now, but let me show you what it does. So you're going to change your blend mode over here to one of these blend modes that is going to look best. And let's take a look. I got this keyboard is sticky today. Let's take a look at him because he is the most pronounced in the shot. So if I change the blend mode, just watch the outline of his eye. I'll show you what I mean. Just watch this area right in here, the eye hole. And we'll go from overlay to soft light, and it's going to be subtle. Now I'll go to hard light, and it'll be really strong. You see the sharpening that's happening? There's sharpening that's going on here. If you look at his eye, hard light is going to give you the most pronounced, exaggerated effect. So it's generally going to be a toss-up depending on the image between overlay and soft light. I think I'll do soft light. I'll click OK. Let me just show you how it looks with it and without it. So here's with the sharpening. Now watch his eye. There's without the sharpening. Can you see how it's softer right here? See, it's sharp here and it's soft here. So now you might be able to see it more in this guy's teeth right here. So it's sharp here. It's not as sharp here.
Yeah.
See the difference? Yeah. Okay. So remember we took away all the sharpness because we did an AI noise reduction on here, an AI noise filter. So we took away some of the sharpness. So we're just putting it back at this point, but in selective areas. So high pass is one way to do that. The problem with high pass, you have to watch out because it will affect your highlights really weirdly if you do it too much. So you really, and especially on these figures, because when they reflect light, sometimes you get these round orbs of light, and with different banding of color inside. If you over sharpen it with high pass, if you over sharpen it in general, but high pass will really do it like pretty quickly. So you really got to be careful. So when you do a high pass, it's good to scan around some of your figures and check out the highlights and just make sure there's not any of that really going on there. So same thing here. I'm going to look at this figure and it's subtle, but you can see the sharpness here and it's back off there. So we're just looking to put that sharpness back. So I think we did a good job on that. and this guy is sharp enough. These guys we're not too worried about. Let's what other thing would I fix really quick on here? I'll tell you what, let's open up the original really quickly and see what the original let me just save this as a JPG real quick. And we'll save that. Maybe it'll save all this weird stuff open. Don't freeze up on me. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Let's take a look at the original just so we can see where we've come from. And it's this one here. Okay. We'll open this rascal and we'll just click open, and we'll side by side these guys. Window, arrange. We'll tile up. We'll do 2 vertical. Two horizontal. Okay, so now we'll do 2 vertical. It's going to look better. Workspace, arrange. We'll do 2 vertical. And this is how you can see 2 photos or 4 photos or whatever,
Well, if you do
at one time.
crop on the one on the recent import, you could probably do vertical and it'll look good for screen wise.
Yeah. Let me do that. We'll do that. We'll go over here and we'll go back to arrange and we'll consolidate all the tabs. So let's do. We'll do the same crop on this one. We'll just do 16:9, and then I'll put them side by side. That's a good idea. Let's put it right about there. Okay, and then we'll do window, works, range, and we'll do. Oh, you know why? Because this one was. There we go. And then this one here. I want to be able to show your original, though, with the original crop too. But probably won't be able to. I'll just have them side by side. So we'll go like this. We'll do arrange. We'll just consolidate all the tabs. So here's Go Figure's original. Here's his original that we started with. Okay. And let me close off all the other stuff on the window. So here's the original that you started with. And, it's all there. There's nothing really that stands out really right away, that's really that eye grabbing as far as, you want to show them as the center of attention. They're there, but there's a lot competing with them because there's a lot of things in the frame that are bigger than them. So we got to try to kind of minimize that and bring them into, the center of attention. And so I think, you tell me if this crop looks better.
No, that crop helps. That crop brings your eye to where it should be.
Yeah. And that leaves us with that crop. It leaves us to not have to fix any of this or see any of this extra information that's not there. That really doesn't help tell the story up here. This doesn't help tell the story. Once again, these guys are just small. There's a lot competing with them for their attention. So this just brings them right into you a little bit better. And those are just some couple quick, well, they weren't quick because it took me forever, but a couple, basic adjustments to make this a little bit better shot to help at the end of the day, get you, where you want it to be. I want to try to, let me see this guy here. Look, there's so no detail here that there's purple and it's all gone. There's no detail in that poor guy. And that's really hard to fix sometimes. Like today, it was kind of a pain in the butt to fix. It took a couple tools to fix it. And it still wasn't, it's still not a great job, but it's not as glaringly obvious as it was.
There's not much you can do with a little black figure anyway,
Well, yeah, I would have shot it. I would, like I say, with a diffuser there, or just actually, with these solid black figures, especially like with black skulls and stuff like that. When I shoot them with a reverse bounce because flash, even a diffused flash on them, they reflect so much. But sometimes you put the bounce card the opposite way and the flash firing into it and the lights going back onto the set, it works better. But they're kind of tough to photograph. You can go in here too, and let's do one other thing. I know I said that was that, but you can go in here. I sharpened. Well, no, I did sharpen these guys already. You don't want to over sharpen. So I think all in all, we're pretty good, man. With this, I would say put a little vignette on here, but I don't think it's going to be necessary on here. We can see how it looks. Post crop vignette. Yeah. Post crop vignette. It's like a little vinaigrette, but with not as much honey mustard. No, I'm just playing. Let's go over here too. It's like a vinaigrette, a little vinaigrette. And
am I hearing shit?
Let's go over here to Camera Raw. Post crop vignette is this right here. That's where you go down here to post crop vignette. Where did you go? Post crop vignette. Why is this? I don't know why my Photoshop is looking. I don't know if it updated on me and I wasn't aware of it or something. It's just acting weird, man. So you can go over here and vignette. Let's open this stuff up. It puts around the edges. It draws your attention in by putting a little bit darker around the edge. But since your photo is dark already, you're really not going to notice it unless you really brought it all the way in. And in this case, you're still not going to notice it. So a post-crop vignette here is not going to benefit you at all. Sometimes what it does in some photos is it sort of darkens the edges of the photo, and it makes the viewer look like right toward the center of the frame. But on a dark shot, there's really no value in it. But at any rate, so we'll cancel this. Another thing, I mean, if you wanted to go in here, we've already, I think it looks pretty good, from where we came from. I mean, there's other little things you could do, but at the end of the day, I think really, this is probably going to be pretty good. I don't know if I confused anybody more than I helped them, but
nah, I got people right now in the DM messaging me about this, just to let you know that at about 4 people in the DM that they're like going to get Photoshop and forward to doing this again. So who knows? Maybe this starts here and restarts on your channel.
So there is some little stuff here, some little firm stuff. If there was any, I was showing you guys a trick. I can open one of my no, I don't want to open one of my images. That's not what we're doing. So let me save this and then as a JPG and then I'll send it back. And if you want to, whatever, it's yours. Let me get out of here once. If I can find there we go. I couldn't find my minimize bar. My good Lord, this thing's acting weird, man. So back to StreamYard and we'll quit sharing. Where's the stop sharing? There it is. Good God, man.
Was on this big old light bulb head just now. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the screen.
So hopefully that like I say, helped a couple people. I mean, I didn't, the hot spot in there was a bit of a challenge, but we kind of toned it down a little bit, but hopefully I'm just reading the comments. Starred. Is there a way? Oh, that's 425. How long would it take you to completely edit a photo? It really depends. 425 on the photo. When you shoot a photo, if you want, I'll show you some of my unedited and edited photos side by side, so you can see. It's up to you. Let's do the Ninja Turtle. I mean, we could do a Ninja Turtle one. We could do, if you want to just see how I edit.
Feel free to send it through, and I'll post.
We'll go over here and I'll do share screen again, I guess. entire screen.
Yep.
And so you could see my before and after photos too. So you could see, is it sharing? I think so.
Right now you don't have anything open. You just have StreamYard open.
Oh, gotcha. Let me open Lightroom, and I'll show you an edited and an unedited photo, the same shot side by side. So you can see, I don't really edit my photos very, very much. Because I don't want to have to try to fix stuff that I'm not good at. But
well,
so I try to.
It's just because you're that good.
So. No, I'm not. So let's.
All right, let's share that.
Well, is it sharing?
Yep, it's on there.
Okay, let me go to the TMNT. I'll show you real quick. We'll go over here to TMNT, and I'll show you over here. So I'll show you an edited and unedited. Okay. So you can see how, minimal I do. It's kind of laggy with this a little bit. So here is an edited. Okay. This is edited. And that's edited too. Hang on one second. This is not edited. Okay. So here's right out of the camera. Okay. I pretty much get everything just right. The only edits you'll see here, the only edits I really do, there's no glaring hot spots. There's no, the lighting is soft. I've got a nice blend on the TV screen back here. I've got, depth. I've got, a clear story going on. And so my edit, this is the edit, just a little bit on the composition. Just I straightened it up just a little bit. I added some real local edits to the metallic stuff and added a little blue to his face from the monitor and shined up some of the gold. But I do very, very little. I don't do broad edits. I just do real basic stuff because I try to get it all right, as right as I can in the camera, so I can avoid having to do all that stuff in Photoshop. Because some stuff at it, I'm better at it than others, but that, so, and even like with the, let me see, show you some of my goof up photos. This is one I never posted. I didn't like it. This is one everybody saw, but
that's another feature.
This is a good shot. This is, yes. So here is the same shot unedited. This is right out of the camera. Okay. Straight out of the camera. This is the edited version. Okay. Contrast, saturation, sharpening, and some real basic edits, but the lighting and everything is just about right. And everything is pretty decent. And so, when you do the photography, you want to set it all up as right as you can. And then Photoshop is a good way to go in and, do your basic local edits and stuff, but, and maybe fix a few minor things, but I don't want to have to fix major things because I'm not that good at fixing major stuff, but I know my way around to do, all the basic stuff. So, but hopefully that, helped. And then even with that guillotine shot I did, I'll show you the before and after. It's just really not that much different. I got so many stinking things over here. It's not really that much, let me see the EFG right here. So, okay. The guillotine one, here's one I didn't post. I didn't like it, but this is stuff I don't like, and so I don't post. But let me. So here is a shot here.
Like I've got really talented all of a sudden.
Right. These are ones that I don't post because there's little things wrong with them in cameras, so I but here's the edited one and here's an unedited one. No. Okay. That's, which one is it? It's probably,
one of them, the sky looks a little bit more bluer.
Yeah, exactly. And that's from a CPL, polarizer filter. I adjusted it on the lens to to bring the sky out more on the TV screen. But
actually, that's my next
let's
TV screen stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and here's one. This is let's see. This is edited and this is unedited. I mean, there's very, very minor changes just to the light and the highlights that I do, and the reflections, just to bring out a little bit of mood and bring out some of the
unedited. So that's unedited.
What's
right?
that? Oh, this is unedited right out of the camera. Yep.
Yeah.
Right out of the camera. And here's the edited one. So it's all see watch the armor and then
cinematic.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this shot.
No.
Right out of camera, but you want to create that. The camera can't do. Milk carton. Yeah. That wouldn't be time
to catch the.
That wouldn't be period correct. That wouldn't be period correct. But yeah. So anyway, but yeah, hopefully that helped a few people.
No, I mean,
not sure if it did or not, but
yeah, it looks amazing. I got one of my monitors like right in this direction, so I look at it on the big screen because the laptop is here, the camera's over here.
Yeah,
I try not to.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I say, there's basic there's local edits and global edits. The global edits I always do are sharpening, because when you shoot raw, there's no sharpening. There's little contrast, little sharpening, and little saturation. So those are the only global edits that I do. The rest of it is real localized edits, clean up, and maybe some local sharpening on eyes and stuff like that. But it's really pretty much it. I try to get most of it right, so I don't have to mess around in Photoshop and mess it up.
I get that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, that was fantastic, Mike. You had a lot of people learn some good stuff tonight, man. And it was relatively quick, but there was so much covered. You know what I mean? Yeah. In a short hour, because we spent probably 15-20 minutes bullshitting, and we're on an hour and a half, but I feel like not only did I get something out of it in the sense of learning new things, but as far as everybody coming in, learning something, I've got people messaging me about how good this is right now. So
I'm good.
I think you are on to something, like I said, if you feel like taking the idea, man, I could see you doing this with helping. There's such a big community that I see probably within the next month, you would probably have a line to be like, hey, could you help me on your show next week?
Yeah.
We
see how easy just a crop fixed that, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It brought the eye right directly to it.
Yeah. And even if that's the only tool, excuse me, that you learn is crop and maybe how to clean up the photo, then you're cool. I mean, the crop really helps with the story. And if you don't get the crop right in the shot, then you can always, adjust the crop to a great degree in post. But yeah, it's a powerful tool, crop.
Well, I mean, the whole Photoshop thing is a powerful tool. We had a lot of guys in here who download the apps that are just kind of more or less quick fixes to having Photoshop rather than having Photoshop.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, if we can't get sponsored, then this is just going to hell.
Well, I'm not that good to get sponsored, so I'm
I mean, no one's that good anymore. I mean, granted, you know, we were having this conversation earlier today at work. I was like, have you noticed there hasn't been like an uptick in influencers? You know, like that.
Yeah.
I really feel like the whole influencer trend was because of COVID.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, I don't.
Have you seen anybody come up lately and say, "Hey, you know, I'm sponsored by this person or that
Not
person"? Shit,
not
I'm not.
really, but every day I'm surprised by how many people I don't know, how many people I've never met because I stay so much to myself.
Yeah, well,
You
yeah.
know,
I mean, yeah, I know.
I don't even know. There's so
Same
many
way.
people that like when I see like Trevor's show or something like the Bomb Show and stuff. There's all these photographers. It's like, where have these guys been? We're all on Instagram. Why don't I see these people? But
Yeah,
you
because
know,
that's the algorithm for you. It's
yeah, yeah.
I showed my wife this the other day. It was pretty weird because there's these girls dancing, young kids doing their little TikTok dances and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the song, just this part of the song it infected my brain, right? So I met up with Merrick's Toy Box today.
Mhm.
Um, and he works about like 6-7 blocks away from me. So I dropped him off a Baphomet's bin he
Yeah.
purchased. So I delivered it to him since he's so close. And I saw a young girl, maybe 13 at most. She started doing a dance, right? And I go, Trick, you better catch the wall, because that's the song.
Yeah.
All of them just start laughing their asses off. Because they knew, you know, like I was like, oh, you gotta be doing a little trick, you better catch the wall dance.
See, I wouldn't even know that.
And Merrick goes, what the hell was that? I was like, oh my god, dude, I can't scroll on YouTube Shorts without seeing that video 8 to 10 times
Yeah.
within a 15 scroll square.
15, yeah. Thumbnail scroll, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I proved it to my wife the other day. I was just like, "Watch, just don't even look at my phone. Just listen." Trick,
Yeah.
trick. I was like, "I told you." I
I
can't.
hear you.
I don't know what it is.
I hear you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But this was fun, Mike. This was a lot of fun,
Right
man.
on.
And I appreciate you helping me with my photo, taking the time out of your schedule to do this. You know, I know that you probably got a lot of better things to do. You know, other than
No, my paint's drying right now, so I'm all right.
all right, yeah. I'm so far behind. I gotta clean my printers and do things because I'm not trying to. By the time the first week of November rolls around for us at Legions Con, I want everything in the minivan, and I don't have to think about the damn thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, we got time. We got time, but
You doing both days?
yeah, and then I'm gonna be there both days, and I'm bringing my wife actually, so I'm gonna stay for a week and trip around. I think I'll stay for a week. I haven't bought the plane ticket yet, so I haven't decided how long we're gonna stay. Definitely both days at Legion's Con for sure. Maybe 1 or 2 days, just tripping around.
Are you at PL?
Yeah, we'll be with PO again, same table, maybe the same spot, maybe not, but
I'm not in the
haven't
same
decided
spot.
yet.
I don't know. I don't know where they're putting me actually. When Jeremy called me up, it was like, I know we gave you 2 tables last year, but we don't have that this year. But because they're putting the Mythic guys, because remember last year, the Mythic guys took the whole back left of the main room. So do you remember where me and Foxy were?
Yeah.
In the second room? That's the Mythic Legions room now.
Mm-hmm.
So all of us are going to be in the main room. which I don't like because, in all honesty, that room was kind of funky and hot.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Funky and hot for November in New Jersey, New York, that ain't right. Because
yeah,
we were opening up the windows, and I mean, not the windows, the doors, and we had a nice cool breeze, and everybody was just like so happy. And you were far off in the towards the end in the back, Damon, and a couple of other people, and I was like, damn, bro, it's hot in here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to bring a fan or something.
Yeah, my wife and I, we're gonna come and probably stay an extra day or two and go trip around maybe New York for a little bit or go see something and then fly back home. We're gonna stay for, like I say, probably 4 days or something like that.
Let me know. You know, I'm a New Yorker, so I'll give you the easy route to do stuff. You know?
All right.
Yeah, definitely. I'm already thinking about it now. You're gonna be staying in New Jersey?
Yeah, we're gonna stay at the same hotel. The Scott Hotel. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, we're planning way in advance, aren't we? Shoot. All right. Well, let me let you go. Wish you a good night, a great night, as a matter of fact.
Thanks.
You got anything coming up next week or this weekend?
No, just the same old stuff I always do. Make 3D prints, paint, and try to get some photos in there, man. You know, Maz's Toy Box on Tuesday or coming up, and Patreon
Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah,
and as a member of the Patreon, I can vouch for it. So I don't think, in all honesty, I don't think you'll find somewhere for $10 that you will find a great file that's ready to print and a knowledge bank of how to paint it and customize it to a T. And I'm not just saying that to shoot the shit, but if you've gotten this far in this episode, you already know this man knows his shit. So if you want more of that for $10 a month, it's the way to go. It really is. I live in New York. $10 won't even buy you a lunch unless you want a heart attack.
It doesn't, man. It doesn't buy anything anymore.
No.
But it buys you a lot of files and a lot of
it will get you some dope ass files for your 3D printer. That's the
for sure. Might not get you that much good Photoshop tutorials, but it'll get you some 3D printing stuff.
Yeah, you know, it's not an insightful tutorial. But all right, guys. Well, for myself and Insightful Imagery,
right on.
Have a great rest of your weekend. Good night.
Take care, folks. Appreciate it, man. All right.